It's nothing unfamiliar, nothing difficult. It's expected. It's just a norm. Just a norm. It's just a norm. It's just a norm.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JustDaNorm. Here we are live for your Cakewalk questions, the live version. And I've done answering Cakewalk questions once before, so hopefully you can hear me well. Hopefully I got my microphone on this time, because the last time I went live, I always make some minor mistakes, like turning my microphone on. So forgive me for that. We are right inside a software that is beautiful, that is wonderful to use, a free digital audio workstation named Cakewalk by Bandlab. And if you haven't used it before or even considered downloading it, definitely check it out. The link to it will be in the description below. Today's topic is going to be focusing on using an old material. This is my whistle beat song. If you ever saw my video dealing with mixing rap music, it wasn't all that good. But anyway, we're going to reuse this actual track so that way we can work with a plugin that is new that I just got not too long ago. It is provided by Lander. So I want to give Lander a shout out for allowing me to test it out and see how it works. It does have some limitations, but it is a great sounding plugin. So I'm going to go into there and show you exactly how to use that. If you are in the chat below or the comments below, definitely let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're here, if you've ever seen me live before, and if you haven't, welcome to the channel. All right, so let's get right into it, because I don't want to waste any time. As I'm doing this thing, if you have any type of questions, definitely drop them in the chat. All right, I'm seeing the chat right now. Nothing has came through, but if you have a question, that's what we're here for. Also, feel free to get on Linktree, JustDaNorm, to connect with me. There's various different links on there, social media wise, to connect. So, all right, let's get right into it. I'm going to take that little overlay out. All right, and then I am going to put my Cakewalk screen in, and here we go. All right, if you hear any extra noise in the background, just know I'm a family man. All my family, they're up in the morning, and I thought they would still be asleep, but that did not happen. So here we go. All right, I am in this project called Whistle Beat. Now I'm gonna let you hear what it sounds like before we do anything else to it. In case you don't remember what it sounds like, this is what it did sound like. All right.
Yeah, it's very hard to write a flow. Tongue-tied words can't let it show. Meant to beat easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record the tracks. Your DAW will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine. Yeah. This my whistle song. Say whistle your tone.
Okay. All right. Now let me do my little morning check, and I always forget to do this because I want to make sure that you're hearing everything okay. If you are in the stream, please let me know that you're hearing everything all right, because sometimes it seems like I always have problems with this stuff. All right, I hear the music, I hear everything, so I think we're good to go. All right, so this is the track. Now, I have effects on here already, and I went through and I showed you how to mix it down. And I added EQ and I added, different compression and stuff like that. But I'm going to add another plugin, and I'm actually going to put this mainly on the lead vocals. I might put it on the master mix. Let's mess with the master for a second. So I have my master track right here. I know that I can't really zoom in like I really want to, but on my master track, I'm going to add a plugin. Now you can use this on your individual vocal tracks or your individual instrument tracks. So Lander comes with this whole suite. It's called the FX suite. All right. And on this suite, there are 5 plugins, if I'm correct. There's a Lander FX acoustic, a Lander FX bass, Lander FX beats, electric, and voice. All right. So voice is great if you're dealing with voice. Electric is good for guitar, anything like that. Beats is course for drums, and then your bass, and then acoustic. So I'm gonna go to let's look at the acoustic. All right, just gotta check my license. All right. Now, the way this plugin works, all of these plugins, is that they have different settings you can use. Now, what I was trying to find out was if you actually can adjust the settings, but I don't really think you can. So it's kind of limited in that motion. You can actually click on the different ones and hear what it sounds like. So this is called creative right here. I know that's kind of tiny to see. All right. This is called reverb. This is called delay. This is called FX. And this is called EQ. All right. So I can add EQ to this if I wanted to, or I can do something different like creative. Now, what I was hoping was that you'd be able to go into each of these parameters and say, hey, I wanted to use a reverb. I can use a reverb and a delay and an EQ at the same time. But I think it only allows you to click on one at a time. So that does limit you, but you could stack these plug-ups. You could stack these plugins more if you wanted an extra effect or whatever. Let's try this parallel saturated compression. Let's see what that sounds like. All right, there's a blend knob, and then there's an input knob, and there's an output knob. So, of course, you can adjust that how you want to. All right. Oh, and you can make it bigger. I just realized that. That's actually easier for you to see. So hopefully that makes it better. All right. Do I have any updates? Okay, I'll check for updates later because I don't feel like doing that right now. All right, let's see what this sounds like if I put this on the master. Okay, that's without.
Yeah, it's very hard to write a flow. Tongue-tied words can't let
And
it
I
show.
like that one. Let's see what the smash
now
sounds
can't
like.
understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start.
Fast
Get
and
your groove,
heavy.
record the tracks. Your DAW will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you're good to go.
Okay, this would be cool if you wanted to use an effect like this.
I don't know.
Or something.
Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine.
Basic chorus.
This my whistle song.
EQ. Body boost.
Say whistle yo
Cuts on
tone.
the bass out. I'll do present boost. Let's put that on again. All right. Let's just loop this section right here. Okay.
Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine. Yeah.
Lo-fi.
This is very hard flow. Of course, glad to show.
It's a pulsar.
And how I'm supposed to let you see that some I say ain't hard. First is just hard. Could you bring what you should?
Okay. Now, ideally, I would not put this on the master because I don't want to mess the master up like that. But this would be great if I wanted to put this on the vocals itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take all the effects off, or not take them off, but I'm going to turn the power off basically and bypass the effects that I have on the lead vocal, so you can hear the vocal by itself. All right, and this is what the vocal sounds like without anything.
Yeah, it's very hard to write a flow. Tongue tied words can't let it show. Meant to be easily
Now I'm gonna take one of those plugins. I'm gonna add the vocal plugin, the FX Voice. All right. Now it has these templates that you can use, like R&B Thick or Pop Diva. And I played with these once before, and I think I really liked them.
It's very hard to write a flow. Tongue tied words can't let it show. Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start.
I'm sorry, I forgot I don't have it enabled.
Would take you very
One moment, because I did disable everything. Okay, don't turn the whole power off on the FX. I have to turn these off individually. I was like, what is going on? I don't hear anything. All right, let's listen to it now.
It's very hard to write a flow. Tongue tied words can't let it show. Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed
to let you see. I can turn the volume up if I want to.
Ain't hard. First step is
or I can turn my input up.
Group record to track your DAW will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know.
Maybe I don't
just
like
know
that.
It takes time. Just like my corny rhyme.
This one is called Rap Guide.
Fun. I know you'll do just fine. Yeah. This it's very hard to write a flow. Tongue tied words can't let it show. Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record the tracks. Your DAW will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine.
Thick. Let's see what that sounds like.
Yeah. This it's very hard to write a flow. Tongue tied words can't let it show. Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record the tracks. Your DAW will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine.
I like the smooth compression, so I'm gonna add that there. I'm going to press Control. I'm going to press Control, and then I'm going to copy that plugin again, and then I'm going to add another version of it. And this time, I'll go in and I'll add something different. So I add the smooth compression to the first one. Let's do. Let's see what they got in here. Let's try that Rap Guide again. The vocals, and see what that sounds like.
Yeah, it's very hard to write a flow. Tongue tied words can't let it show. Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record to tracks. Your DAW will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine. Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record to tracks. Your DAW will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want.
Really
hey,
bright.
I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine.
I just have a de-esser on it.
Yeah.
See what the smile sounds like.
It's very hard to write a flow. Tongue tied words can't let it show. Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record to tracks. Your DAW will take you very far. Add some press.
Okay, so I mean the plugins, you know, they work pretty well. You might have to tweak them and adjust them. Do I imagine that you want to just use this plugin alone? No, I would still suggest definitely using plugins within Cakewalk. But you can definitely add one of these plugins if you want to get a special effect or something like that. Definitely, I think it will help. So let's see, I add another one. Let's add something else. So, all right, on this one, let's do got compression on, saturation. Let's see what this sounds like.
Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record the track, your dog will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know.
If you're going for
Just know
distortion,
that
this is
it
really
takes
cool
time.
plugin for that.
Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine.
Slightly toasted.
Yeah. This it's very hard to write and flow. Tongue-tied words can't let it show.
You go for lo-fi, this would be really good to use that.
To let you see the mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record the tracks. Your dog will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine.
Ooh, huge verb.
Yeah.
Right home.
This it's very hard to write and flow. Tongue-tied words can't let it show. Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record the tracks. Your dog will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine. Yeah. This it's very hard to write and flow. Tongue-tied words can't let it show. Meant to be easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see.
So if you want more dryer, then I would say, yeah, take that effects off.
Get your groove, record the
You can dial that back. It doesn't have to be in there that much.
Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine.
All right, and that's that. Okay, I'm turning these off. Let's go back to what I originally had. Sonitus.
Meant to beat easily, now can't understand how I'm supposed to let you see. The mixing process ain't hard. First step is to just start. Get your groove, record the tracks. Your dog will take you very far. Add some press, EQ, verb, and you good to go. The tune might add that shine you want. Hey, I don't know. Just know that it takes time. Just like my corny rhyme. Long as you having fun, I know you'll do just fine.
All right, and there you go. I mean, you just play around with it, and if you like that type of stuff, then you definitely do that. So if you're interested in Lander plugins, I do have a link. I think you can get a discount on it. I have to give me a moment. I had to figure out exactly what that is because I haven't even put it in the description yet, but I will link it below if you want to do it. I think the plugins are like $15, $20 or something like that per plugin. Or it's $99 for the whole suite, which comes with all 5. It's cool to have extra plugins, but you all don't feel obligated to get this. I just wanted to show it to you. There's some other plugins and stuff that I would love to show you. But, I am really big on using the plugins that are within Cakewalk because I believe if you get a free software, what's the point of getting a free software if you got to buy a whole bunch of other plugins to get the job done? So if you can't get the job done with what you have, then there's no sense in getting the free software, to be honest. So, all right, but I love Cakewalk, and I'm infatuated with everything that you can do with it. All right, now let's start any questions. Does anybody have any questions about anything? If you're in the chat, I still haven't seen anything in the chat yet, so I don't know if people can see the chat. But if you can, feel free to type some stuff. I know we are streaming on a few different platforms, so all right. Well, since we don't have any specific questions right now, I'm going to go through and I'm going to just talk about a few different things that you can do in Cakewalk if you are a new person. So let's close out of this project and let's assume that I'm not going to say that. Let's assume that we are totally new to Cakewalk. We've installed it. We're going to a new project. We're going to do an empty project. All right. And this is it. This is what it looks like. If I wanted to change my theme, the way it looks, I can go up to Edit, Preferences, and then I can go down to where it's called Themes. It's under Customization. All right, right now this is called Norm theme. I created this theme. And I mean, basically, I just kind of mess with it. But it does come with 2 standard ones. This is Mercury. Show you what Mercury looks like. Apply. All right. Looks ever so slightly different. All right. And then there's another one called Tungsten. So I'll click on that. All right. And yours might look like that. But there is a way where you can actually edit these themes. And I have a video that talks about that. So I have this norm thing. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I made this thing. It was kind of ugly looking. Got some red and some green up there. But when you get in here, you can actually really adjust these. You can change every aspect of it. So if you have editing software like Photoshop or I use Adobe Illustrator. I do have Photoshop as well, but you can go in there and change them. I need to make a tutorial that's really in depth about how you can go about doing it. But you can also do this through the theme editor that comes with Cakewalk. It'll allow you to actually switch this stuff around. Okay. All right. And this is another one that I made once before. It's a little colorful. But anyway, let's go back to the one I had originally. On theme. All right. You're in here, you have your theme, and I've talked about this whole control bar, but there's a lot of different things up here that I haven't talked about. And to be honest, sometimes there's a lot of things up here that I still don't even understand. Yeah, you know how it is. When you get into the software, you only use what you need to use, so you don't really use everything. You just use the parts that you need. To me, that's what the software is for. It's not for you to learn how to do every single thing in one day. It's for you to learn the stuff that you need to know how to do, and then eventually you'll figure out more things as you go along. All right, but up here on this control bar, the way mine is set up, now I have it set up on advanced. And if you're not sure how to change the workspace, go up to the right corner. Sorry, you can't even see that. Let me put that back where you can see it. Go up to the right corner, all the way at the top. I know it's very tiny. All right, and then you're going to press on where it says advanced. In my case, it says advanced. And it might say none. Okay. And if it says none, that means you're not set on one. This is my JustDaNorm space that I created. You can create your own space, or you can go through some similar ones. This is called basic. All right, this is called arranger. This is called record. And let's go back to advanced. So up on my advanced tab, I have export, which allows me to export to Bandlab, or I can export as audio or other different type of presets. I have my controls is what I call them, but your tools rather. You have a smart tool. Smart tool pretty much is interchangeable to allow you to change back and forth between what you need, but you can set it to what you want it to do. So I can uncheck any of these if I want to. All right, I have the select tool, I have the move tool, I have the edit tool, draw, and erase. And then I have my note draw duration, which I can change by right clicking. Snap tool, which is very, very important if you're trying to move something, or you're doing like drums or anything like that, and you know everything falls specifically on a certain pattern or a certain resolution. Resolution meaning that it's either quarter note, half note, eighth note, 16, 32nd, 64th note, etc., or triplets, whichever. Once you have this snap set, which is right here, and hopefully you can see it, it's very tiny. But once you have it set, then everything that you put will always snap to that timeline or to that resolution. And if you don't want it on, you can simply turn it off. When I'm doing, like, if I'm nudging things or if I'm sliding things around, like especially vocals, I'll turn that snap off, because sometimes vocals are a little tricky. They may not be exactly on the right beat. So you have to like adjust it if you need to. So, but I'll keep that on. Of course, you have your control bar. You got playback controls, rewind, stop, play, pause, start, stop, or fast forward, and then the record button. If you right click on the record button, it opens up the record options. And in the record options, This is where all the magic happens, because there are 3 different ways that you can record. You can record by comping, you can record overwrite, and you can record sound on sound. All right, sound on sound is basically blend mode. And I normally use this quite a bit, especially if I'm like stacking vocals or something like that. I really want to stack vocals on separate tracks, but say you didn't really want to use separate tracks, or say you was playing a piano part, but you wanted to play another part and you wanted them to kind of blend together, then you can do sound on sound. If you wanted to overwrite a section, which means that it would just do a hard stop wherever you press record at, it will stop that section and record the new section. So then you'll go back and you'll be like, oh, hold on, I'm missing a note, and that might be right because you got to sit on overwrite. And then comping allows you to do multiple takes of the same part. Of course, you can do auto punch. You can store all your takes in a single track or to a separate track. All right, there's a whole bunch of other things you can do down here. So I'm cancel out of that. You have the now time, the now slider, so you can slide that wherever you want it to be. Okay, right now I don't really have any measures in here, so it's not too far that I can slide it. All right, you have your now time, all right, which I said before. If you haven't seen my last video or last 2 videos, if you click on this with your left mouse button, it'll change. All right, I think there's 4 modes total. Yeah, I think there's 4 modes total. You have your run stop, the audio engine. This is very important because sometimes you may have music that is hanging over or is holding too long or something's glitching. You can always go up here, reset it, start it back, or you can just simply stop it and then start it back. And that might fix the problem. You have tempo, which I can change by just typing into. I have my meter, and I can say at measure 1, I want it to be this meter, but I can also insert other meters as well. So if you want to change this 6/4, you can put your key signature in. I don't ever really worry about the key signature, but that would come in handy later on if you wanted to do that. That way it'll have all that data when you send it to somebody else. You can do that. Let's see, what's some other things? Oh, if I'm in project mode up here, haven't really talked about it, but you can also do insert meter key change or insert tempo change or insert series of tempos. This comes in handy if you have a song that changes grooves. And I actually have a song like that that I'll let you hear in a little bit because I'm actually going to have it recorded live, but I just created a template for it. All right, let's see what else we have here. And then we have the metronome, which I made a video about. Play and record. And then you have metronome settings here. And then over here, you have mute, solo, arm to record. This is your input echo. So if you ever had that situation where you have a track, you're trying to record one track and you go to record the second track, but you're still hearing data from the first track, it might be that the input echo is still on for that track. To bypass all effects, exclusive solo, envelope, enable, bypass, all right, override, automatic plug-in, delay, compensation on live inputs. These are some of the buttons that I really don't use at all, but like there's a lot of stuff: enable, bypass, plug, unsampling, clear automation rights. I haven't really talked about automation yet. I need to make a video about that. And someone is calling me right now, so let me mute my phone. Gotta love going live. All right. Then you got the loop. Got loop points. Got performance. Performance is very important, you all, because this lets you know how much your CPU and your memory can handle. You can see that on my main hard drive, well, I got more space than I had before, but I'm at 63 gigs available. But I have a lot of videos on here from, of course, recording YouTube. So it's a lot of stuff I have to delete. And then I do have additional hard drives on here too as well. This is just the main hard drive that I use. Memory wise and CPU wise, I'm using 42%, which is pretty decent, So if you notice that this starts to get up to the red or yellow, or I mean, it's already yellow, but if it starts to get up to the red, then you know that something is going on with your system. Either you don't have enough memory, or you are running too many plugins, or there's some simple fixes that you could do. You definitely could actually bounce the track or bounce the clips. Any of those things will help. All right. Then I have a selection tool. I can set my noun time where I need it. Then I have punch, search, ACT, which is to learn your controller, whatever controller you have plugged up. Markers, which I really use quite a bit. And then what is this? Event inspector. Yeah. Oh, let me talk about the event inspector. It's not pulling up right now, but I'll pull it up one day. But this is actually how I learned how to play piano. But it was on the Alesis MMT8. I talked about this once before. It was an 8-track sequencer, MIDI sequencer, basically. And that is how I actually started learning how to play piano when I was about 9 years old. I would take my dad's songs and I would look in there and I would look at the data, and it would tell me, oh, at this time, this note plays. So in this case, it says 5, F measured 5, beat 1, the pitch C0 plays. And then I would take all of that data and I would take all those notes and I would figure out how the songs went. So yeah, that's how I started learning how to do it. Sync, customize it, and the mix recall. Now, this is an amazing tool. I did talk about this in one video. This allows you to say you have everything set up and you have your mix set. You can actually save that just like you would on a digital mixer. You can save it and then recall it for a later time. And the reason why this is important is because maybe you have it set the way you want to, and maybe you want to start changing some things and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually you can pull this back up. Or if you have a scene and you like the way everything is set up, you can apply that to a different song. So that works really well too as well. I got to do another video about that. Of course, you have on the side all of your plugins, effects, MIDI, instruments, etc., notes, media, all of the stuff that you can put. So you can put notes in about the song, the name, the album. You can put an image, etc., etc. And all that's good and dandy, but it means nothing if you can't create a track, right? So let's create a track first. Insert an audio track. Let's insert an instrument track. And I'm going to let's use electric piano. All right. And I want to record something. So I'm going to start with the keyboard first. Now, if you haven't seen my video about SI instruments, definitely check that out. But I'm going to go in here. I'm going to click on the side. Use this crunchy CP. Yeah, awesome. Sounds great. All right. Press Alt-0 because I am lazy. I don't feel like plugging up my keyboard controller, and I don't feel like plugging up the keyboard that's on the side. It's on, but it's not plugged up via USB. So you're a person, and all you have is your laptop, or maybe all you have is your desktop computer. You don't have any instruments to plug up. You don't really need any. You can just use the virtual controller. All right. So I'm going to I'm going to go up an octave, press X. All right, I found something. Let's just record it. Let's see what it sounds like. Ooh, not that fast. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Let's put it down to like 100. I'm probably going to mess this up because I don't remember what I just played. bring that back. I can quantize that. Q. I gotta exit out of this first. Press Q. All right, let's do something different. I'm gonna do a. All right, let's try vocals. And I gotta make sure this is set up. So I'm gonna go up here, input, Xair. I'm using Xair. I should be on channel 12, input 12, and there we go. And I can record that. I'm gonna put a metronome count on here. So I can count in. I'm counting in one measure. Apply. Close. All right, just a little vocal percussion. All right. All right, I had to say something to my son real quick. He's playing this game. I don't want to get no copyright claims on here. All right, here we go. So I have that. Now I'm gonna boost all of this, of course. All right, and then I'm gonna apply effect, gain, boost this all the way up. 6 boost. Okay. All right. I'm going to take that and I'm going to copy that. Control. That's not what I meant to do. I'm going to duplicate it rather. Right click on a duplicate track. I'm going to duplicate this twice on the events. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add different EQs on this. So I want this one to have, actually, I'll go ahead and use that. Let's use these lander things. Let's do lander beats. All right. I can hear that music in the background. I'm gonna nudge these ever so slightly. So it's gonna give, nudge that one. All right, I'm pan this one. Pan 2 of these to, I'm pan this one to the left. I'm pan this one to the right. All right, I'm gonna do something different with this, and I'm also going to add an EQ on this one in the middle. Right. Okay, do we have an EQ on it? But I'm gonna add an actual EQ to it. So now it's EQ. Let's boost the bottom. All right, and it's just something to play with, you all. So this is what I like to do in here. I like to get in here and play with Cakewalk and figure out what I can do, because there's a million other things I can do with this. I didn't have to duplicate this track like this. I can actually take this track, separate the audio. I got to make a video about drum replacer. You can take the audio and you can actually replace it with drum sounds, which is pretty cool. But I got to get into it again because it's been a while since I've done it. But and actually, I don't think, you know what? I tried to use drum replacer before, and I think it had problems because drum replacer came originally with Sonar. If I can get it to work again, then I'll definitely make a video about that, because that's comes in handy. I can take this audio and then I can basically use this audio to trigger the drum sounds from like TTS or from SI Drum Kit, etc. Or I could take this and split the audio. Okay, I can split this audio and then make it bass drums, you know, snare, etc., etc. Or I can record them separate tracks. Or I can really, really mess with it and add some EQ to it to really get that body that I'm looking for. But you just want to go ahead and have fun with this thing and play. And I'm assuming, I'm hoping that everyone was able to chat, because I never did see anybody get in the chat. But I don't know, unless something is going on and I can't get chat on here. So if you were trying to chat and you couldn't chat with me, I'm sorry. But I'm assuming that everybody is good. So anyway, you all, I'm going to call it quits. We're going to stop right here. There are more Cakewalk tutorials to come. So if you have any questions after watching this video, definitely leave a comment. Let me know. And if you like, sorry, I had to click. Every time I click on something to change it, then I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to do that. If you like content like this, definitely make sure you stream. Many more live streams to come. All right. Love you all. Take care.